What's up guys, my name is CD. Usually you can catch me playing games like Fortnite, Call of Duty, usually first person shooters, but the game that I have been absolutely addicted to lately is Dota 2 Auto Chess. Now as of late we've actually heard other Auto Chess games become announced like League of Legends. I believe Epic Games is having some sort of Auto Chess as well as Valve coming out with their actual standalone Auto Chess game. What we're going to be talking about specifically today is the Dota 2 Arcade Auto Chess. This is the first one I've played, and I think it's the first one to really get everybody into the Auto Chess mindset. And this video is going to be for first-time beginners. We're going to go over exactly how Auto Chess works, what everything on the screen means, and really what's going on and how to play. Now there is a pretty big skill gap in the game, so hopefully this video will be able to help you guys out and get that little edge above the people that don't know how to play, so you can, I guess, win your first couple games. So jumping right into it here, the point of the game is basically to collect units or chess pieces, I guess you could call them, with their selective synergies, races or classes, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. We could go really in depth with that, but we're not going to in this video. And with those units, you want to upgrade them basically to beat your other 7 opponents. Auto Chess is a round-based game, and every round your units go to an opponent's board to fight them. You're kind of like the away team if we're talking about like a sports reference, and other opponents' units come to your board to fight your units, so you're like the home team there. And different results can happen, which is a little weird, but that's just how the RNG goes. So let's say your units come to my board, my units go to your board. The exact same fight is happening, but some timing, some movement, some speed might change, which can make me win on my board, but you win on your board. It's a little weird, but it does happen. So let's keep it moving here. Each player has their own courier, you could call it. My courier in this game is the little like yak looking guy. And you start the game with 100 HP, and you're dead when you hit 0 HP, and that's how you lose. The last person with any HP is the winner. You lose health or HP by losing the rounds to other players. The more units you lose by, the more damage that you take. Now I don't know the exact calculation of how that works. It's not 1-to-1 with the amount of units, but the more units, the more damage. Just remember that. All right, so the next big thing is economy or gold. Now there's a few different ways to earn gold, and this is kind of where strategy starts to come in. So every single round at the end, you'll be awarded with 5 gold for completing that round. If you win the round, you'll be awarded with 1 more gold. You can also go on win streaks or lose streaks that will award you gold. And again, now I don't know the exact amount, but let's just say, for example, you win 3 rounds in a row. You now can earn 5 gold from winning the round, 1 gold because you won, and now maybe another 1 gold because you're on a 3 win streak. So now you're making a hefty 7 gold, where other people who are winning and losing are only making 5 or maybe 6. And I'm not sure if I said it, but those win and lose streaks can go up to 3 gold. So that's the biggest win or lose streak, you're getting an extra 3 gold. And that shows you that it's not always right to go for the win at the beginning usually. Sometimes it's right to go for the lose streak. Because yes, you're losing, but you're only losing a little HP at the beginning, and you're still earning that extra 3 gold, which may get you ahead of somebody else. But that may be more of an intermediate strategy. I just want to let you know that that is an option. And the final way to get gold, and really what you're shooting for, is interest. So for every 10 gold you have in your bank, let's call it, you can get 1 gold of interest. So if you have 5 gold in your bank, you're not getting any interest. But if you have anywhere from 10 to 19 gold in your bank, you're going to get 1 interest. If you have anywhere from 20 to 29 gold, you're going to get 2, so on and so forth up until 50. If you have any more than 50 gold in your bank at any time, at the end of the round, you're going to get 5 gold in interest. So that's why if you watch a lot of Auto Chess, in the middle rounds, you'll see a lot of people hovering right around 50 gold, because that's the most interest they can get after every round. So that's the ideal scenario. Not always super practical though. So what the heck do you do with this gold? You buy units or chess pieces, whatever you want to call them, from the shop. This shop is shown to you at the beginning of every round for free once. You can re-roll that shop, so let's say you buy all 5 characters, or you don't like any of the characters, you can re-roll the shop to get 5 new characters in there for 2 gold. And you can do that an unlimited amount of time in the round, but you only have like, I think 30 seconds in between rounds, so good luck if you're trying to find one specific piece. So once you buy these units from the shop, they'll go into your bench, which is at the bottom part of your screen, and then you'll want to click and put them on your board to actually put them in play. The number of units you can have in play directly correlates with your level. So if you're level 1, you can only have 1 unit in play. If you're level 2, 2 units, up until level 10 is the max, which you can have 10 units in play. So this brings us to the next point is, well, how do you level up? You gain 1 XP per round, or you can pre-level, I don't know how else to call it, for 5 gold, which gives you 4 XP. Now you may be asking, well, how much XP does it take to level up? I believe it is exponential. Is that the right word I'm looking for? So level 1, you need 1 XP to get to 2. 2, you need 2 to get to 3. 3, you need 4 to get to 4. 4, you need 8 to get to level 5. Does that sound right? It's something very similar to that. It grows exponentially as you get higher and higher levels, so it becomes harder and harder to level up. You got to pre-level, as I was saying, with more gold to level up in the later rounds. But 1 extra unit could cost you the win or the loss over another opponent. So I hope this is making at least a little bit of sense. I know I'm going over a lot of stuff probably pretty quickly, so I hope some of this is making sense, or if you have seen YouTube videos and stuff like that, hopefully some of this is clicking. If not, I'm sorry, maybe try to watch this again, maybe try to go play a little bit and then watch this again, maybe that'll help you out. There is a lot just kind of thrown at you at the beginning of the game. So let's get back talking about the units now, because there's a little bit more information that we can talk about at a basic level. So units can cost anywhere from 1 gold to 5 gold, 1 being kind of the most common and you could say the worst units, whereas 5 gold are like the legendary, the most powerful units. But that's not always true, because you can upgrade your units. And how you upgrade your units is if you get 3 level 1 units or 1-star units, you can then make a 2-star unit. And then if you get 3 2-star units, you can make a 3-star unit, which is like the best, the biggest units you can get. Or if you break that down, a 3-star unit equals 9 1-star units. So if you can get a 3-star unit, that is pretty good, but it might take up a lot of your money. So it's kind of about finding which units you need to be kind of going for the 3-star, which units maybe 2-star is good enough and cheap enough for you. It's a whole strategy in itself right there. And it also depends about what the heck the shop gives you, because maybe the shop's not giving you the units you want. All right, so another thing I thought I would mention here is how exactly the rounds work. So you start obviously at round 1. I believe it's the first 3 or 4 rounds you play PvE. So you don't play against other characters, you just play against computer units that are there, and hopefully you'll win those first couple rounds. And usually if you have the correct amount of units in, so you're level 3, you have 3 units in, you're more than likely going to be okay and win those PvE rounds. Now, after that, you do start to play against other players, except every 5 rounds from round 10. So 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, etc. You play again against PvE. And the good thing about those rounds is if you defeat those random computer monsters, they have a chance of dropping items, and these items can really boost the power or defense or mana gain of your units. Now, I'm not going to go really in depth on all that stuff, but just know that those things are going to drop little gift present boxes for you. You're going to want to move your courier over there, pick that up. It's going to go in the bottom right of your screen, and you can maybe read a little bit about it and put it on a character that you want to. I'm sure there's a way more in-depth video about items somewhere else, but I'm not going to cover that here in a very basic video. And the final thing that I want to mention, which is pretty simple, is just like the fundamentals of the UI. So you're looking at a lot of stuff, and I know maybe the first time you're seeing it, it's all just a jumble and you don't really know what to look at. So on the right side of the screen, you're going to see all the names, and those are all you and your opponents. So you can see it like has our Steam picture as well as our name. It has our ranks on the right side. And then on the bottom left of each one, it has a number in yellow with black in the background. That's our level. And then the green bar is the health of that person. And then the blue bar underneath is that person's economy or money. You can also click on each person's picture to go to their board to maybe see what the heck they're working on. Or maybe if your units are fighting on their board, which will be denoted by 2 swords crossing, you can go see your units fight them on their board. Also at the very bottom right of the screen, you can see a little arrow pointing towards like a wall or a line. If you click that, it'll actually expand all these boxes and show you a much more detailed view of everybody's characters, the races and classes that they're going, as well as like their win-loss record so far in this game, and a bunch of other information that when you're first starting out, you really don't care about. All right, now we'll go to the bottom of the screen. So you can see there's little circles with numbers in them and pictures in the back right above it. Those are your races and classes that we talked about earlier. So every character has a race and a class. Sometimes they actually can have multiple, but most of them have one of each, and those are going to be the best ways to win this game. You want characters or units that have similar synergies. And if you can get the right composition, which is something else that I'll make in more of an intermediate video of like good compositions to go, good races and classes to look for, that's how you win the game. Because a bunch of units that don't share any synergies are not going to work too well together, obviously. So that's a good way to keep track of what you have in play right now and what maybe you should be looking for to buy from the shop, or how you can kind of change your composition to make it a little bit better. So the number in those circles is telling you how many you have in play, and if you hover over the circle, it'll have in parentheses how many you need to kind of start that synergy. Most of the synergies have multiple tiers. So like, for example, if you get 3 warriors, you get 5, I believe it's 5 shield for every warrior. But now if you get 6 warriors in, that gets a little better and they all get 10 shield. So it's like that, it ramps up as you get more and more of the same kind. But let's say you had 5 warriors in, you're still only gonna get the 3 warrior buff. Now, one quick thing that confused me when I first started, the red and the green do not denote whether you have it or not. You have to figure that out based on the numbers. The red are the races, and the green are the classes. So it's not like good and bad, go and stop. It's just denoting what they are, not if you have it or not. And then quickly below that, we have 5 buttons, which I've changed the keybinds a little bit so they're not gonna be the exact same as yours. But A is how you can move your characters around. Also, if you don't wanna click A every time, in the top right of the screen, there is a click and place button, and that is exactly how it sounds. You just click on the unit and then click again to place it, so you don't have to hit A to move it around. W for me is just a quick key to pull a unit back from the board to put on my bench. You could also click them off the board and click them back on your bench if you want. D for me is selling a unit, so if you want to sell it back to the shop, you don't want it anymore. Q for me is the reroll in the shop that we talked about earlier. And E is the pre-level that we talked about earlier. Below that, again, we have green is my health for my courier, as well as the blue is the economy or gold. And then on the right side there, you have those 9 slots. Those are the item slots, where if you pick them up from the PvE rounds, that's where they'll go and you can take a look at them. And from there, you need to click and drag and put it on a unit that you want it to be used for. In the bottom left is kind of an overview of all the chessboards. So you can see there's 8 of them all the way around. And now finally to the top of the screen, you have those chess pieces, which will actually toggle the shop for you. The hotkey is also space. I use that all the time to just open and close the shop. Next to that, you have the round that you're in, as well as if you're in the middle of a round, it'll say the name of the person you're fighting against. Next to that, you have the timers, the timer of the round and of the game above that. Next to that, you have pieces, the number of pieces you have in currently, and then slash the number of pieces you can have available in. So you're always going to want those 2 numbers to be the same. You more than likely never want to not have as many units as you can in. And then beside that, we have our gold again. So I know I covered a ton of information here. I hope it made some sense to you guys out there. I hope this auto chess tutorial helped you guys out in some way. And this is not only going to be able to help you guys out in the Dota 2 auto chess. All of the auto chesses are very, very, very similar, besides the characters or the units and their races and classes. Those are going to switch up, and those are going to be a little bit more confusing for you to start out, but that's where the learning curve starts. So now, if I'm a beginner watching this video, I want to know how do I get good at the game now? I understand some basics, but where do I go from here? I would say go watch some more videos just like this. Go watch some more beginner videos. There may be things I've missed, or maybe I didn't explain perfectly for you. Also, if you have some time on your hands, I would suggest watching some live streams, whether on like Twitch or YouTube or whatever, and just watch some higher level people play. Maybe you can put some pieces together of things I said here, where you can actually see it in action and it might make a little bit more sense. And then finally, just go play for yourself. You may not know what you're doing, but you've watched this whole video, so you should know some stuff. And then maybe other stuff you can piece together. Again, I hope this video helped you guys out. If I did miss something that you saw that's very blatantly obvious, put it down in the comments below. But don't just tell me I missed it, actually explain what I missed. So if somebody new is watching this video, they can scroll down there and get more information for themselves. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sub if you have not already. Make sure to click that like button if it did help you out, and I'll see you guys later.